Now that we know what a Riemann sum actually is, let's go through and do some problems. Here's example number 1. Here's this graph, this equation right there. I want to find the integral from 0 to 10 using 5 rectangles, and it says specifically the 5 rectangles that are shown. And this is a midpoint because each of the points on the graph are at the middle of my rectangles. That's my midpoint Riemann sum. And now we just need to calculate that approximate area by finding the areas of the rectangles and adding them together. So this is a 2 tall by 2 wide, so 2 times 2, plus this one's 5 tall by 2 wide, so 5 times 2, plus this one's 3 tall by 2 wide, 3 times 2, plus this one's 1 tall by 2 wide, 1 times 2 plus, and this last one is 3 tall times 2 wide. And we do not need to simplify it. You can leave it like that. Let's try the next one. It says approximate this graph from 0 to 10, so from here to here. We want to use 5 rectangles of equal width. So I'm going to set those up. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles of equal width. And I want a left Riemann sum. So let's see, use the left-hand point on this width, so that one's there. Use the left-hand point from this width, so that one's there. Left-hand point from this width, so that one's there. Here's this width, use the left-hand point, so right there. And this last one, use the left hand, and it's there. Now I just find the areas of my rectangles. So this first one is height 0, width 2. Second, height 4, width 2. Height 4, width 2 for the third. Height 2, width 2 for the fourth. And same for the fifth. And there's our left Riemann sum. Okay, let's do a right Riemann sum. Now, you couldn't just go off of this table. I find that it's very easy to make mistakes when you do. So I would always suggest graphing these points so that you can visually see the rectangles. So I've got 0 up to 10. My f values go from -1 up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 0, 3, 2, 8, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5, and then I've got 9, -1, and 10, 0. Now, this says approximate the area under the curve from 0 to 10 by using a right Riemann sum with 4 subdivisions using the data in the table. So let's make sure that if I use these subdivisions, I should get 4 rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. There's my 4 subdivisions just as the table gave me. So what I would like you to do now is using this graph, I want you to try and graph what the right Riemann sum would be, find the area of those rectangles, and then come back and check to see how you did. Check what you got with what I got. I have these 4 rectangles using the right-hand points for each width. So for these, this first one is an 8 by 2, second is a 2 by 3, third is a -1 by 4, and the last one is a 0 by 1. And that should be your answer for that one. Okay, let's try example number 4. We are going to do a midpoint Riemann sum with 3 equal subdivisions. So 1, 2, 3. Those are equal. And I need to do a midpoint. So midpoint. So there's the midpoint of my graph, about there. Go up midpoint. That's the third one. And here's the last one, right there. Now this one, we're not going to approximate those heights because it gives us an equation. So if I plug 1, 3, and 5 into this equation, that's going to give me the height that this box should be at. So 1 squared plus 10, 3 squared plus 10, 5 squared plus 10. So this is square root of 11, square root of 19, square root of 35. So that is the heights of all of these. And now I just have to do my rectangles. So height times width plus height times width plus height times width. And that's our answer. Okay, example number 5. We need to do a right Riemann sum, and it gives us our widths. So we're doing negative 10 to negative 4 to 0 to 2 to 3 to 5. So what I would like you to do is pause the video, try to apply everything we've learned to find this right Riemann sum. And remember, this one has an equation, so you're going to find your right-hand values right here and actually plug them into the equation to find what the height of your rectangle should be. So pause the video, try that out, and then come back and check to see how you did. This is what you should get. If this is not what you got, please look over what I've done so that you can see and figure out where you went wrong. One thing that may have happened is you used the wrong ones. We wanted a right-hand Riemann sum, so these should end up being the values we plug in because they're right. So negative 4, 0, 2, 3, 5. Negative 4, 0, 2, 3, 5. So these are the heights of all our rectangles. And then I do height times the width. So I found the width of all the rectangles. And there we go. That's it for this lesson. Go ahead and get started on your homework.